Someone originally brought up an interesting issue in the ISTP Facebook group. Suppose you're in a relationship with an ISTP and at the same time you happen to be going through some ongoing difficulty, let's say either depression or post-traumatic stress or something. The point is, it's something that the ISTP can't relate to. Now, the first time you decide to bring it up in front of the ISTP's reaction will vary, and it'll depend on things like how the ISTP feels about you, where the ISTP is with their inferior extroverted feeling, how the ISTP may have been taught to respond to things like that, if at all. But suppose the ISTP gives you some comforting words and acts sympathetic. And most feeler types will appreciate something like that. The ISTP obviously has never experienced anything like whatever you're going through, but wants to be there for you. Now, here's the thing. That comforting thing and sympathizing, that's not normal ISTP behavior. That's a fluke. Either the ISTP just felt that was the right thing to do in that moment, or maybe just wanted to stay on your good side or whatever. But generally, any desire an ISTP might have for comforting or sympathizing, it's very limited. And generally, we just don't have the patience to comfort somebody repeatedly about the same thing. Yeah, we have FE, we know how to use it, but it's just not one of our preferred functions. So at some point, that introverted thinking is going to take over. So one thing that can happen is you might come to expect that sort of sympathy from the ISTP, and then all of a sudden it just kind of stops the next time you talk about that same problem. The ISTP, and then the ISTP's attitude might start to come out, something you haven't heard before, but was actually there all along. The ISTP who, like I said before, doesn't know what it's like to go through what you're going through, will just give his or her opinions that are just based on ignorance. Now, as I can imagine, that could be really discouraging, frustrating, confusing. You might be wondering why the sudden change in the ISTP's attitude. Well, the ISTP's attitude never really changed. It just took that long for the ISTP to run out of patience. The best thing I can tell you is just to understand that's just the way ISTPs are. We excel at troubleshooting in areas that we're familiar with. So yeah, just leave the ISTPs to stuff like that and turn to other sources of expertise for advice regarding your specific problem, or if you're just looking for comfort and sympathy, look for INFPs, or I don't know. You figure that part out. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got.